please know, social media is not real. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is one of those people I have learned so much from. He would give me all kinds of advice. He was like, you date very carefully. He was like the best relationship guru. If that would work, everybody would be famous on social media.
Yeah. What are the different ways that you can monetize content?
You have to take a chance. You have to take a leap of faith. When I started my career, I was 8 when I started. If you're just sticking to one thing that, okay, this is getting me views, this is getting me likes, it never works out in the long run. I met Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir and he said, God bless you, beta. And he did his hand like that and he left. If you don't know the journey, don't judge somebody.
Hi Anushka.
Hi.
You look so lovely.
You look so lovely.
I feel like I've role reversed. I usually wear suits and everything and I was like, today I'm going to be different. I'm going to wear a dress and you have come in a suit. Yeah.
Actually, that's true. Even I'm mostly wearing dresses. So I thought, let's just suit up
Exactly.
a bit,
So it's good. We've kind of swapped a
Yeah,
little
I think
bit.
that's really interesting.
I'm excited to chat with you today.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm speaking to somebody who has such a large influence and at such a young age. So I was 21 when I started Humans of Bombay.
Oh, wow.
You are 21 today.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on content creation specifically. But a question I'm going to start with is something Siddharth Chaturvedi actually said during the promotions of Kho Gaye Hum Kahan. He said that everybody shows off on social media, right? It's a highlight reel of the best parts of life.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that it's difficult to showcase certain realness on digital? Because, if you show too much, then people are like, oh, you're doing this for the views or you're doing it to kind of garner that realness. And if you don't do it, then there's this catch-22 where you're like, oh, you're only posting the good stuff.
Yeah.
So what's your take on it?
See, I feel it really depends person to person, how they want to be perceived on social media. For me, it's not really been about showing the perfection of my life that look at me, I'm so perfect, I'm so this. It really doesn't feel like a job to me, even though some people think that I take it very seriously. I don't take it very seriously. For me, it's like a journal. How you journal your thoughts down, you're just showing. My fans basically, when I started my career at 8 years old, I was 8 when I started. And those fans, they grew up with me. They grew up watching me. So I try to be as relatable as possible. I have spoken about mental health being a concern. I've spoken about my bad days. But of course, I show the good side of things also. But I keep it really real. I don't, to take it too seriously. Oh, what am I going to post or anything? I'm like, oh, I'm experiencing this, experiencing this moment. I want you to experience it with me. So for me, it's like that. But what you said and what everybody's saying that, social media, it's difficult, So for some people, you get judged and it's literally, you're a public figure. So you get judged by everyone. But if you start thinking about what everybody's thinking about you, then it just makes life miserable, isn't it?
Yeah, but from your lens, it's exactly what you said. You've grown up with them. So it's like they're with you.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a very important question. You obviously began your career very young and then you were in front of television and you were exposed to that world.
Yeah.
But what was your moment like with Mahendra Singh Dhoni when you did that ad? And you were, again, like 11 or 12, which is super young. What was that experience like?
Honestly, it still feels like a dream.
Yeah.
I still feel like it didn't happen. I have just hallucinated the entire experience because of the fact that, you have a certain perception about celebrities or certain perception about people who are famous, who have made it in life, that, oh, they're going to be really egoistic or they're going to be arrogant or, they're just going to be really introverted and not speak to you. But there's so many examples, in the industry who prove that, no, they're just human.
Yeah.
They're just human. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni is that one person. My father always keeps referring to him, always is like, remember how he was. Because I was really young, like you said, I was just 11, 12 when I did my first ad with him. I remember the first day on set, the assistant director said that, do you want to meet Mahi? And I'm like, yes, I do. He's my favorite cricketer. He's my favorite person. I have to meet him.
The answer to that question is always yes.
Yes. It's like yes or really yes.
Really yes.
There's no about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, before going on set, why don't you, speak to him so that you're not nervous or anything. And then I went and met with him and he was like, so where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Ranchi. You're also from Ranchi, right? And that created like the first bond, and we were like, yeah, go Ranchi, go Ranchi, go Jharkhand. And he was so sweet, not only to me, but the best part about him is that he treats everybody with respect, with equal respect. Doesn't matter if you're somebody who's working behind the camera, or if you're an actor. He's taken pictures with my parents, and he's spoken to them that, oh, your daughter's so lovely. I have done, I think, 14 to 15 ads with him over the period of 7 years. So every year I would meet him once, and I would give him the entire gossip of the year. I did this year, this is the project I'm working on, this happened in school. And he would give me all kinds of advice. He was like giving me like, don't mess with this boy energy. You have to you date very carefully. He was like the best relationship guru, because he would tell me that don't get into boy trouble, don't get tattoos, you will not like it when you're 25 years old. And he would give me tongue twisters and challenge me like that. He treated me like a child, and that's why I called him Chachu, because he literally was like my Chachu, is like my Chachu forever. And he used to, so I got those small signature bats for him to sign the first year, the second year. And then he used to ask me, where are the bats? Give me, I have to sign them. And he would, after pack up, he would wait for everybody. He would take pictures with everyone and then leave the set. He would be on set. He would take his chair and sit with me, talk to me. He would not go to his vanity bag. And then he would have his own special, table where there's all kinds of food. But he would take the normal, there was like a table full of like vegetables and fruits and all of that, like the common one. There was these carrots. I remember so correctly. He was like, I want those carrots. I want those carrots. He's like somebody, so he just makes me believe that, yeah, no matter how successful you are, no matter you reach so much like heights in your life, but you can be human. Because I think in the process of becoming famous, you're always thinking about, oh, I have to be famous, or I have to get money, I have to be successful. You can't forget who you are and where you come from.
Yeah.
And I think that is what he taught me, and I'll always remember that. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is one of those people I have learned so much from, so much. In fact, I have a very fun story. I met my most favorite actor, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir.
Wow.
Just recently. I was flying to Dubai for the UN COP28 event, and I was performing there. It was a huge day for me. I was also like really nervous and really excited to perform on stage for the first time. And I was in business class, he was in the first class, and I didn't see him before. But then there was the air hostess who told me that, okay, we are landing, you can come to the first class so that you can exit quickly. They took me, and I just saw to my right. I was like, oh my God, that's Shah Rukh sir. What? It's Shah Rukh Khan. He's my favorite person. Like, you learn so much from him as well. There's so many
just
interviews.
By observing.
Yeah, there's so many interviews. He does all the speeches and everything. And then I was like, Shah Rukh sir, hi, I'm such a huge fan of you. And I've met him in 2013. I was hosting a red carpet event, and I was hosting him, and there's a very cute picture of me holding up my mic like that and literally staring at him because he was giving me an interview and I was hosting. And I was like, sir, I'm meeting you exactly after a decade. Can I show you the picture? He was so humble and sweet. He took his time. He was like, yes, please show me the picture. I showed him the picture. He loved it. He's like, it's so nice to meet you, beta. What's your name? I told him that I'm Anushka Sen. It's so nice to meet you, sir. And then when he was exiting, he could have just exited because I was really happy. I was like on cloud 9 that Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir has spoken to me. Yeah. And he was exiting, and he stopped and he said, God bless you, beta. And he did his hand like that and he left. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
What an inspiration. No, that's why, these people reach those heights because they're so humble. So before my big performance, he gave me his blessings. I took it in that way that he has blessed me for this event. I'm going to do my best. I'm representing India. I'm going to kill it. So, I get inspired from these people. They're really amazing.
That's surreal. And the other funny thing is that pretty much everybody on the show has something to say about Shah Rukh Khan. Like something, like how he's impacted them, how he's affected them, how he's put a smile on their face. I think he's the most omnipresent in our shows. Like I'm manifesting an interview with him, so we'll put it out there.
I really
that he actually does come.
Yes, we manifest. Shah Rukh sir, please do come.
And I bet nobody saw this avatar or expected this avatar of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, which was relationship guru. I got stuck there. I was like, Wait, what? Because I'm an ardent cricket fan, by the way.
Yes.
So I must ask this question to tickle that bone. Please tell me, what is the relationship advice that he has given you that you can share with our followers who are also seeking relationship advice?
He told me when I was like 13 or 14, he knew that that is a age where you get like infatuation and you're like, oh, what is this feeling I'm feeling? But he told me, he's like, don't get into boy trouble, okay? Be very wise, be very slow, calm down and take it slowly. And he's just like, go with the flow,
Yeah.
but don't rush
Yeah.
into anything.
Yeah.
That's the best advice. I think in anything, in your careers or in your relationships, I think you have to just be calm.
Yeah.
And
And taking
you know.
your time
Yeah.
with everything. Coming to career,
Yeah.
which you just spoke about, tell me, what is the typical day in your life? What is a typical day in the life of a content creator? Let's make it more generic, more useful for people who are getting into content creation.
You know, actually, for me, it wouldn't be a typical day as a content creator. It would be Monday, content creator, Tuesday, actor, Wednesday, singer, Thursday, student. So there are a lot of things that I do, right?
Yeah.
So my typical day is not typical. It just changes all the time. I say that I'm a night owl, but I mean, today I woke up early because my schedule is like that,
Yeah.
okay? So but if you're talking about being a content creator, you have to do everything by yourself and you know you have to be involved, but I'm really grateful that I have a very beautiful team with me who help me with the scripts and the shootings and everything. I'm really involved in the process. So I just graduated this year and yeah, I did filmmaking.
That's I laughed because it does not seem like you are a college kid or you just graduated just by volume of how much you worked.
I believe that content creation is also something that teaches you a lot how to be independent, because when it comes to an actor, when I'm acting in a show or in any a medium, I have to just focus on my lines, my characters around me, right? And I just surrender to the director. I have to just think about my character and just collaborate. But when it comes to content creation, it's very different. You have to be involved. You're sort of like your own director, but you're also working on the script. You're also working on, oh, what sound can we do? I'm also working with the stylist that, oh, what clothes can we wear?
Correct.
Like
It's a holistic process.
Yes, and it's interesting because you learn so much.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that in this generation we can do anything we want. I'm really grateful that my parents have always supported me with everything that I do. They never forced me to do anything else. They said, whatever you want to do, you can do, because I'm the first one in my generation of families actually, who is into filmmaking and content creation. They've all been like doctors, engineers, and I come from that family.
Yeah.
And they have done incredible, okay? They have done like incredible things for the world, for the society, for their families, and I get inspired by my family. But I'm the one who did something very different, but my parents have always supported that. So being a content creator, being a travel vlogger, being an actor, now I'm also started to sing, so it's really interesting that you can do so much, you can learn so much from people. I meet so many people every day, so it's really interesting. Yeah. So my typical day is basically a lot of learning, I would say. If I had to say it in one line, would be so much learning every day.
Yeah, you can see that. You've amassed a very large following, close to 40 million on Instagram. That's a lot of influence that somebody this young has, right? So from a learning perspective, because you said that you learn, what would you say is some of the tips that you could give those content creators who are just beginning?
I think the most important tip is to just really be yourself. It's not cliche, it's the truth. You can get inspired, you can get motivated, but you have to have your own USP. Why would people want to watch you as well, right? You have to have your own style or your own perspective on things and be relatable, not try to be that, oh, I'm perfect all the time, because nobody is.
An important part of the content creator journey is collaborations and the money that you kind of, amass on the journey of being relevant and having that influence on people. How is it that people can go down that journey? Say they're just beginning.
Yeah.
How is it that they can make this possible, right? Because when you've reached a certain level, it kind of comes to you.
Yes.
But there are a lot of people who really need that money or want that money to kind of even say buy equipment.
Yes. Of course.
I need to buy a better camera. I need to buy a better mic.
Yeah.
So how do you approach the commercial side to content creation?
So, first of all, talking about money, that is just one aspect of my life that I don't look after.
Oh, really? Okay.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Whenever I choose to collaborate with a brand, where if I'm, choosing a project, it always depends on the creative process of how it's going to affect me, my audience, what's the moral and what are the values. So I look after that aspect. I have a whole team to look after the money side and my parents. But talking about commercials, it's very important to be ready for the opportunity.
This is the subjective nuance.
Right.
But what is that one step that people can take? What are the different ways that you can monetize content? If you could simplify it, because this is the knowledge segment where people who are just about beginning and starting can take 1 or 2 steps to achieving certain things, whether A, follower growth, or B, the opportunity. This is a step that I can take towards the direction of making a little bit of money.
Right. No, of course. I think consistency is a very important aspect of it. I feel a lot of people want to get into this, but they don't understand how much time it takes to be in something like this. It is a very difficult job to be doing, a content creator, being a content creator or being an actor. It's not a stable job. You have to also understand that there can be ups, there can be down. So it's very important to be consistent and believe in yourself that yes, I am going to crack it eventually. If I just stay on my path, I keep hustling, you attract those opportunities, be money wise or be creatively. You can just attract those because I feel if somebody is so honest to themselves that they're working hard every single day, they're trying their best, they're making good content, they're doing good work, they will eventually, be successful.
Correct.
So that is my one tip, would be being consistent.
According to you, how feasible is it to turn content creation into a sustainable money stream?
I feel that, right now, if you see, there are so many successful content creators. It is possible to crack it. Obviously, why not? Because like I said, that if you're consistent towards it and if you're putting your hard work, if you're being unique, then of course you can turn it into something sustainable. The
Correct.
chances might be, you have to take a chance. You have to take a leap of faith is what I've, realized. Because when I was 8 years old or 9 years old, my parents didn't know that this is going to work out. They just took that leap of faith. Yeah, took that chance. Because you have to take a chance in life if you want to reach somewhere. I think it is a big risk, but can't really get anywhere without taking any risks. So.
On that note, how important is it in terms of consistency to focus on quantity versus quality? Because,
of course.
Because, okay, I want the algorithm to work for me, right? So I'm going to post 2 posts a day or 1 post a day, whatever your number is.
Yeah.
Does quality take a hit? Which way do you go?
Of course, quality. Quality over quantity. You can't compromise on that because it's a very important aspect when it comes to content creation or anything that you do. Like, if I'm talking about being a content creator, if you see the kind of content that I make, for me, it's always like, okay, this is something that I can, share with my audience. I should share my journey or share my, like, for example, when I go to Korea and there are good things happening there, I've started working there. I became the ambassador for Korea tourism recently. So there's some really interesting things that are happening. So when I make my travel vlogs, there's something that people want to know because everybody has love for K-dramas, K-pop, and it's like a huge Hallyu wave, like we call it.
Of course.
So that is something that, people love that. So you need to know your audience. You need to know what people want and people will like, and something that you're also interested in. It's like a balance that you have to find. And then, just produce that kind of content. You have to be selective. Correct. So that, you don't do anything that comes your way.
What is your take on trends? There are so many trends that come. People are doing it, especially in lockdown. It's like those trends just did not stop. And sometimes, the algorithm trends that audio. So then you just keep seeing the same thing again and again and again. What is your take on trends? Do you participate or do you prefer to maintain your individuality and say the content will work one way or the other?
No, I think it doesn't work like that. I genuinely think it doesn't work like that. If that would work, everyone would be famous on social media. That doesn't work. Because I think trends really mean short-term hype. just lasts for a very short time, right?
Correct.
For me, when it comes to making a video on a popular trend or something like that, I try to make my own version of it, because then it makes me feel like, oh, I contributed to this trend. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting thing also, that how somebody randomly can make a new trend. It could be a dance trend, makeup trend, anything. That I love that about social media, that anybody could start a trend. Doesn't mean you have to be famous for it.
Correct. It's a leveler. Let's talk a little bit about social media and its impact.
Yeah.
So followers is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, you've amassed such a huge following, but you have the ability to create an impact, as do anybody who has any kind of following, which is really looking up to them for some kind of version. What's your take on social media and impact, and how can one use it to make that or to create that difference?
Right. So, I feel that creating an impact in a good way is also my responsibility, because I have these kind of numbers. Like recently, I went to participate at the UN COP28. It was not just for entertainment, but it was for climate change. We were performing for climate. Social media is so powerful. You can reach literally anywhere. Now it's, global. I recently started working in Korea. I'm meeting people from all over Asia. So when you get to meet them, you learn so much. And it's really important for me. It's a responsibility that I don't use it only for the commercial side of it, but also do something important.
Let's talk about the other impact, right? Kids these days, they're used to screens.
Yeah.
But with that also comes a lot of short form consumption, right? Like 15-second, 20-second, 30-second reels. Can be obsessive, and you can just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
It's a dark hole, and you can fall into that pit very, very
Absolutely.
easily. What is your take on that role in one's life? And how can one detach on a certain level?
No, I feel that social media is a very powerful tool, obviously, but it has its own pros and cons. You have to be very careful. That's what I say when people are like, oh, I want to be famous, I want to be a content creator, I want to be an actor. But you need to know, that there are some disadvantages of this side of things. Like you said, it can get obsessive. Anybody right now, they all can agree to the fact that scrolling for hours is something that is becoming very common, and it's really scary. In my house, I have taken this conscious effort that I leave my phone, I check my screen time that comes, and I'm like, it can't be above a certain time. I have to leave my phone, I have to read a book, I have to do something else. Just leave that.
Let's come to the next topic before we get into our next segment, is community and social media. We use the word communities very loosely today, right? Like, oh, it's a community, and oh, this is my sense of community.
Yeah.
But do you think that a sense of community exists from digital to offline? Like, have you experienced this, and how can one build that?
Talking about communities on social media, I think it's really beautiful that people do that. But it's also not, I feel communities doesn't mean that you can't get into a community. People are really accepting of you.
Correct.
You
don't have to be a leader.
No.
You can also be a part of a community.
You can be a part of a community, and everybody is really accepting that way. I feel that is a very beautiful thing when I go and meet people, and there's a influencer community, or there's an actor community, or any other community. We are very accepting of each other. It's a collaborative effect what we do. I think communities are made for a special cause, so that people feel that they belong somewhere. I think if you're just being kind, if you're being accepting of one another, it wouldn't be a problem if you're in any community. Yeah.
Let's go to the next segment.
Okay.
It's called Ask a Creator.
Okay.
For those looking to collaborate with a brand for the first time, what's the right way to approach and negotiate? And these are like short, like snippets that we can just tell people as advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel that first of all, you should really believe in that brand before promoting it. Of course, you need to believe in their values, believe in what they're trying to sell, and always be open to ideas, open to opinions, and just go with the flow. I think that really helps.
What's the right way to approach and negotiate?
Approach and negotiate with a brand. I feel, I'm at that, I'm on the other side of things
Spectrum.
where, it's a different
approached.
spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm being approached. So that is a very different conversation for me, I
Correct.
feel.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I would just be myself. That is how I would approach anything in life.
Yeah. How can creators determine the rates for sponsored content?
Oh, like I said, I really don't know about anything. about money. I have no idea. I only know the creative way of it.
Okay. Are there specific terms or clauses that creators must include in paperwork or agreement with brands? And how important is that, especially those in their nascent stages?
Of course, it's really important to know what you're getting into. Like I said, it's a big world. It's a different, genre, and you need to know what you're getting into. But I'm really glad that I have a whole law team who, take care of these things.
What are some of common mistakes content creators make that they can avoid?
Just copying somebody. Exactly copying somebody. That is just not
a big
right.
no.
It's a big no. Just be yourself. Genuinely. Don't copy somebody. Just people know. You can't fool anybody.
Filters, yes or no?
Yeah, why not? Fun filters. Why not? It's a free world. Do what you like, girl.
Yeah.
Or boy. Or anybody.
What are some of the must-dos for content creators? Apart from being yourself, what is something that they can do to up their game?
I think the one thing that I like to do when I'm creating content is just like changing it up a little bit. Just like, okay, I've been doing this transition for so long. Let's do something else. Always being open to experimenting is something that they need to do. If you're just sticking to one thing that, okay, this is getting me views, this is getting me likes, it never works out in the long run. So I feel just experimenting should be there.
How does one deal with trolls? Because they're there.
Of course, there are. Just ignore them. They're just trying to get your attention. Just
that-
be like, peace out.
Is that something you've had to deal with?
No, I will be very honest with you. Like I said, I have a huge fan following. They've always shielded. They've always just given me so much love. I can't see the hate. And honestly, it is just really important to get thick skin, about all of this. I see the love. I am only about positive energy. I surround myself with positive people. I only care about what my parents think, what my fans think, my friends think. Other than that, you can keep your opinion to yourself. So it's okay.
I love that you said that with a smile.
Yeah, because I really don't mind it. It's okay. It's your opinion. I can't help it.
Yeah, and in 40 million followers, there are going to be people who are going to be nasty and say things about you.
They're genuinely just trying to get your attention. I am sure. They're just trying to get your attention. They want to be seen. It's okay.
We interviewed Badshah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about
Oh,
trolls.
so-
Yeah. And he was like, tell me something.
Yeah.
If you really hate somebody, think of somebody you dislike, okay, in your head. And I was like, okay, whatever. And he was like, okay, you really dislike and hate and whatever. The worst emotions possible.
Okay.
Would you take out the time when they post a story or a post to go and write that I hate you or I do it? And I genuinely thought I would never in any scenario.
I mean, it's such a beautiful world. There's so many people who are just spreading positive energy. I try to do that. You are doing that through your medium. Like I said, media was hyping me up. So everybody around me are just full of positive energies, and people who have negative energy, I just say God bless them.
Yeah. In the age of Instagram perfection, there's so much that has been written about body positivity.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Not perfection. Like the ideal woman or the ideal man. Like for women, let's take women
What
for
is
example.
ideal woman? It can
Long
be
hair
so
or like, thin, thick. I don't know. And these are adjectives that are attached, and there are so many young girls who feel the need to be that. But there are girls who go through things because they don't fit that mold.
Yeah.
So what would you say about that?
I feel really sad that we are even having this conversation. These days it's become so generic. Like, I feel bad that there's so much pressure on girls, even boys, to be a certain way. I hope that girls just don't give in to these really unrealistic beauty standards, because it's impossible.
Correct.
It is.
Yeah.
And please know, social media is not real. It is not. Even if you think that, oh, this is how I want to be, this is my ideal body type, ideal weight or whatever, it is not real. And I feel bad who are going through this. I really hope that they just focus on the right things of being a good person, being kind, being fit and being healthy. You know,
Correct.
that
Yeah.
is important. But let's not just give in to this unrealistic beauty standards, because genuinely, guys, it is not possible.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
That brings me to the last question. What advice would you give content creators, one, yes, on who are just beginning their journey,
Yeah.
but also the youth who are looking to find purpose, right? You found it at such a young age, and I think that you're very blessed to have been able to grapple with so many different things and find what your calling is so young. I felt at 21 when I found Humans of Bombay, I was blessed, but not everybody has that.
Yeah.
So twofold advice. First, for content creators.
For me, I think content creators who are just starting off their journey, I hope, like I said, please be yourself and don't give in to these unrealistic, body expectations or any expectations. Just be yourself, try to do your best, hustle, be ready for any opportunity, and just make sure that whatever you're putting out in the world is a good message, has, even if there's entertainment or there's comedy or making somebody smile, that's a beautiful thing to do. Or if you're making something important like you did, this is amazing what you've done with Humans of Bombay. It's amazing what you did. I hope people get inspired by that. You're inspiring so many people. So I hope that you find your calling and just be yourselves. And my message for the youth would be, just be passionate and do what you really like, and make sure that whatever profession you choose, you should really love it every single day, and don't take anything for granted. Because we pray for things, and when we get it, I've seen people taking it for so granted and being like, oh, now I've got it all. That really pulls you down. So make sure that you don't take anything for granted. Surround yourself with positive energies, people who lift you up, don't drag you down. If there's negative energy, run. But genuinely, just surround yourself with positive energy and be kind to every single person. And do your best. That's all we can do, right?
Amazing. I think that's a great way to end the episode. There's so much that we got from this discussion, just from a lens of how to be holistically. And I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
There's so many people who think that, oh, now there's 40 million followers, she's so young and she's so famous, and she's leading this certain lifestyle. And the people who grew up with me, all my fans who grew up with me, they've seen that side of struggle and hustle. I'm still struggling, still doing my best, trying to reach a certain level. I have my own goals that I have to still accomplish. So it's very important, if somebody is seeing me just right now and you're like, oh, she's 40 million, how did she get? If you don't know the journey, don't judge somebody, and don't compare your journeys, because this is something that I've experienced, that, oh, she's doing so much, like you said, right, that somebody's traveling so much or they're working better, and you immediately compare yourselves with their journey. You have to know that you have your own beautiful journey, you have your own destiny, you will get what you want and nobody can steal it from you. It's very important to know that.
It's written.
Yeah, it is just written. You have to just work hard on it. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Anushka. It's been lovely.
You.
And more power and love to you to achieve all those goals.
Thank
you will. And I'm looking forward to chatting again with you, because it's been so lovely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for being the best community, and we'll see you in the next one.